republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us reflect on the past year with a thankful heart and start the new year with peace and faith. Let us release the bitterness and frustrations of this past year. Let us move into the next year knowing that God loves us and wants the best for us. Let us pray that the new year will be focused on healing ourselves through repentance and renewing our minds. We were not meant to do life alone. We can bring the light of hope into our own hearts, home, and world.
Please be seated. Thank you, Carol. Wendy, do you have an update for Kiwanis or for Abe Lincoln?
This past Saturday, we had the interviews for our Abe Lincoln, the student nominees from all the different schools. We had 20 students to interview. Thank you to all the Kiwanians who showed up. We had 15 in attendance, green room and interview room. So next up is the luncheon itself on Friday, February 9th. I encourage you all to come, bring some friends, and let's spread the word about how wonderful these students are. These days, it's nice to hear something nice about the future.
Thank you, Wendy. Where's Roger? Okay. Roger's still getting his lunch, so there's an update on Builders Club with Howe Middle School. They are interested in having a club, a Builders Club, but we need someone to spearhead that one. So if you're interested in connecting with kids, middle school kids, if you could let Roger know, we would really appreciate it. And also, remember, every third Monday at Iozo's is the lunch bunch. Upcoming meetings, the 25th next week is here at the Columbia Club, and the 29th is on Zoom. If you could remember that our special Leap Day program about Holcomb Observatory is coming up. It's going to be a Zoom call. It's going to be pretty interesting. Next week, we're excited to have Dr. Stephanie Hinshaw about the Come to Believe Network and new 2-year program at Butler. Watch your mailbox for a questionnaire about our member notices and the website. As you know, Kiwanis International is changing their whole computer system, so it's going to impact Kelly, but it's also going to impact us. So please read those notices in the website. Kiwanis is changing the technology. You'll get more information on that, but please be patient with Kelly in the office as these transitions are coming through. I'd like to announce the recipients of the 2024 grants provided by the Kiwanis Foundation. We'll be hand delivering $5,000 checks, and if you're interested in being one of those people who give the checks out, please let us know. And those include Brightwood Community Center, Claude McNeil Musical Theater Training Program, Firefly Children and Family Alliance, Horizons at St. Richard's Episcopal School, Indiana Center for Prevention of Youth Abuse and Suicide, Packaway Hunger, Special Olympics Indiana, St. Mary's Early Childhood Center, Teachers Treasures, and Unique 7X. I'd also like to congratulate Greg Silver for appearing with his friend Judy Bannon. Greg, can you tell us a little bit, is he here? Yeah, Greg, can you tell us a little bit about that
Judy O'Bannon
special?
and I and others have been working on a series of programs for PBS. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know I was going to be asked to say a few. Tonight is at 7:30 on WFYI. Is our Common Thread finale. It's a 7-part series that's been on PBS with Judy O'Bannon. and myself and many, many others who have contributed to connecting themselves to their profession. Tonight, Randy Shepard, the former Chief Justice, and myself and Robin Winston and the Burmese Association and Big Brothers and Sisters are featured on the program. WFYI and the Obama Foundation and the Denver Foundation have been funding these programs. They are being shown statewide. Tonight, my part is to describe my relationship with the O'Bannon family and how I go back many, many years with it. But the others, all of us are connected in some way to somebody else. We're all connected in this room. So I hope you watch the show tonight. It's WFYI 7:30. And enjoy, and we'll look forward to discussing that, but we're all connected. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Now it's time for the awards. I'd like to bring Carol back up and thank her for her dedication to Kiwanis as serving as the Kiwanis Foundation President for 2023. Please accept this plaque from us for your wonderful service and your continued membership into the Kiwanis Club. You did a great job with the foundation. As you know, we continue to grow the fund, and that gives us an opportunity to help more people. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. Okay, now it's time for the Legion of Honors. The success of Kiwanis results from the strong and active service of thousands of Kiwanis Club members. With the Legion of Honor Award, we have the privilege of recognizing Kiwanians who have been club members for 25 years or more. After I call your name and you accept your certificate and pin, I'd welcome you to share a brief "This is what Kiwanis means to me" moment. So we're going to start here. We've got several people who are, I'm going to read them all off, and then those who are here, please come up to the podium. Phyllis Usher for 30 years, these are all 30 years. Phyllis Usher, Bill Murphy, Lou Drexler, Wendy Paddock, and Steve Willem. Oh, there we are. Okay. Hang on, Bill. Let me find you. There you go, Bill.
Okay, all right. Guess I'll do it. Thank you very much. This is kind of the, it's interesting because I originally started at the Northeast Club with Jay Brill and my dad back in the when I was in the early 80s. And then Jim Blythe suggested that I come to the club, the downtown club, that had the most prestigious group. Plus, too, I could see him on a regular basis, and I could drive. So, in any event, thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Enjoy Kiwanis. I not as able to attend as much as I'd like, but again, it's heartwarming to see all the volunteers and all the people that subscribe and have put their time and effort in to make this club wonderful. So, again, thank you. I'll put this on the wall.
Thank you, Bill. Wendy? 30 years.
Wow, thank you. I can't believe I've done anything for 30 years, but I started back in Baton Rouge, Louisiana with the Early Risers Club. That was every Tuesday morning at 6:30, even on Mardi Gras. And back then we raised money by selling red beans and rice dippers. So I served as club president twice and one year as lieutenant governor. And on one of those lieutenant governor trips to Indianapolis, I got to meet several people with Kiwanis at the main office. Jeff Otis was one. Lo and behold, when I ended up moving to the Indianapolis area, reconnected with Jeff, who said, I said, "Oh, I'll join the Carmel Club." He goes, "No, you need to join the downtown club. That's the real club." So here I am. And what Kiwanis means to me is, I guess, hope and ongoing faith in a good world. Because there's just so much bad stuff that we hear. And the one thing I knew when I left Louisiana is that I would find a Kiwanis club to join, because it always introduced me to some of the best people on earth. And I absolutely love the people I've come to know here at the Downtown Club. So thank you.
Thank you. Steve,
Maya?
another 30-year Kiwanian.
Well, first that means I'm getting pretty old. So I could say a lot of things.
Experienced.
Old.
Sage,
Old.
sage.
So over these 30 years, I mean, there's lots of things that I could talk about, but I think I'll just talk about what Kiwanis means to me today, and it's really just the relationships that, you know, I've met so many people that I never would have had the opportunity to meet if I had not been invited to join Kiwanis, and you know, so that's why it's appropriate to be here for today's ceremony. Chick and Mike were two Kiwanians that I got to know over the years, and sorry to see him go, but I've just always been impressed with how friendly and how so many people were interested in, you know, knowing who I was and wanting to spend time together. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. 30 years.
And we'll get photos afterwards.
So 35 years, none of them are able to be here with us today. Denny Nehigh, Pete Bespikas, Rich Schreiner, Pat McCrory, Ted Mao, and Dave Cease. 45 years, Gary. Come on up.
I can't remember 45 years ago.
It'll adjust the same.
Oh, here we go.
There it is, there it is. Please, give us some sage advice.
Well, I didn't come prepared for making a speech, but I was very honored when my dear friend John Allen, we did business together, but we were also personal friends for years, and he wanted me to join the Downtown Kiwanis Club, and I said, well, I'd been a Key Club member in high school, but never really involved. But anyway, so he was one of my sponsors, and it was very intimidating. I was a small businessman here in Indianapolis, and coming to this very elite group of business people and professional people. It was really quite intimidating for a small guy like me, but it was quite an honor. And I remember they said the best way to meet people was to get involved in the election process and join one of the committees. At that time, we had elaborate skits. And Max Schumacher was running for president, so I said, okay, I'll do that. We had no females in the club at the time, and I was cast as one of 3 female impersonators in the skit. And I suddenly realized that this exclusive elite group were down to earth, real good people. It was very fun, but it's been a personal honor to be a member. I was past president too, and I met some, like Steve said, some wonderful people that I lifelong friends, but also to be associated with a group that does so much good for the youth in the community. And it's, you know, you cannot do personally what the Kiwanis Club collectively can do for that. So I'm very proud of that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob. Now we have 17 people with perfect attendance awards. They maintain good attendance by staying engaged with the club and fulfilling our mission. They attend meetings of our club or another club, board meetings, committee meetings, district international meetings, SLP, fundraisers, service projects, dedicated workly efforts to advancing the club and its mission. These people receive another year of attendance recognition and will receive a numbered tag for the Kiwanis pin along with a voucher for one free meeting at the Columbia Club. And they are, hold on, let me find my list. Yeah, I'm way to look at. There we are, okay. read them all. So Tom Dunham, Tom Eubank.
Do you want to read the number of years too?
Yeah, okay, Tom Dunham, 48 years. Tom Eubank, 47 years. 47 years.
They don't even make pins that high.
No, they
It's
don't.
a challenge.
Yes. Lou Drexler, 26 years. Mary Marsh, 22 years. By the way, Mary just broke her arm the other day, so if you'd like to send cards or give her a phone call, I'm sure she'd appreciate that. Nancy Ulrichs, 13 years. Chuck Cotterman, 12 years. Bill Du Bois, 10 years. Trina Raudebush, 10 years. Steve Farrow, 9 years. Roger Cummings, 8 years. Steve, come on up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Roger, 8 years. Perfect attendance. Bravo.
Thank you.
Dave Young. There he is, in the corner.
Where I belong.
Congratulations,
Thank you so
Dave.
much.
Nice to see you at the meeting. Wendy, come on back up here. 6 years, congratulations.
Thank you.
Graham Honecker, there's Graham. 5 years. Perfect attendance, 5 years. A lot to be said for that. Laura Holloway, 3 years. Mike Halstead, 4 years. And Art, where's Art? 1 year. The start of something great, 1 year, right? Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, we'll find yours.
Okay.
We'll find yours, okay. Now it's time for the candlelight service. Since our founding in 1916, we've been blessed to have members of exceptionally strong character, outstanding business and community leadership skills, and a commitment to serve to the service of our community and citizens. It's been long tradition to recognize members who have passed away during the prior year. And this past year, we lost 4 really great members of our club. Chick Bourne, Mike Kinney, Bill Minette, and Dallas Moorhead. While we light the ceremonial candle, we will read a brief narrative regarding one of our fallen friends. Once all the candles have been lit, we'll pause for a moment of silent reflection regarding the service and friendship of our 4 deceased clubs. Wendy, if you could start with Chick. Where's the...
You want to let chicks?
Why don't you do that?
Okay. In remembrance of Chick Bourne. Chick was born April 19th, 1945, and left this earth on October 20th, 2023. He grew up in Akron, Illinois, where his parents owned a furniture store and funeral home. His father wanted him to take over the family businesses. His mother wanted him to be a doctor. Chick said he wanted to do something else. He was a member of Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity, graduating from Simpson College in Iowa and from IU Morrow School of Law in Bloomington in 1970. He established a labor relations practice at Ice Miller. Although he represented companies and school corporations, unions started asking him to help settle disputes. That work introduced him to mediation, which he loved for its ability to achieve a win-win result for all parties. After 25 years at Ice Miller, Chick joined the mediation group where he continued to help people. Chick was a leader in the Indianapolis legal community. He was selected for several years as one of Indiana's top 10 super lawyers. He also served as president of both the Indianapolis and Indiana State Bar Associations, as well as a member of the American Bar Association, House of Delegates. He served on the Employer Labor Relations and OSHA committees of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Indiana Chamber, Associated General Contractors of Indiana, and the Indiana Manufacturers Association. He was the recipient of too many awards to name, but he especially esteemed the Paul H. Buchanan Jr. Award of Excellence that he received from Indy Bar in 2000. Chick was invited to join Kiwanis by Jim Blythe in 1989 and quickly became involved in the Abe Lincoln Awards. Chick presented the scholarship to a student at the Indiana School for the Blind in 2019, and we all remember his personality and how he let that shine through in almost everything he did. He loved fly fishing, golf, skiing, football, softball, racquetball, travel, and amateur auto racing. He helped to establish the athletics program at First Baptist Church and was a deacon and elder at Second Presbyterian Church. He was also a leader in the Indianapolis Great Banquet, the Scottish Rite, the York Rite, the Murat Shrine Temple, and Keystone Masonic Lodge number 251, where he was lodge master. So I'll remember Chick. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve?
First, I'd just like to say, when you're president of the club and you're up here at the podium, you just hope you do a good job, and you hope there are people out there in the audience that will appreciate what you're doing. And Mike Kinney was one of those guys for me. You know, after a meeting, he would come up and he didn't necessarily say good job, but he was just warm and welcoming and made you feel comfortable. And I wore my tartan tie today for Mike Kinney. On my mom's side, I'm a member of the Murray clan, and Mike was a member of the McKinnon clan. But this is in remembrance of Mike Kinney. Mike was born September 27th, 1933, and left us just a month and a half ago, November 25th, 2023. When asked his opinion about a tough decision, Mike Kinney would often simply shrug and offer the reminder, life is short. But as the universe would have it, his was a vast and colorful 90 years. He was deeply proud and a lifelong Indianapolis resident. There's a pretty good chance that you or someone you know met Mike. Maybe you met him as a scrappy kid in Broad Ripple, where he was an altar boy in the church and a graduate of Broad Ripple High School. Or maybe you came across him as a teenager pumping gas at Bob's Marathon next to the Roslyn Bakery in Broad Ripple. After high school, you might have missed him for a while he was enlisted in the Army, using his driving skills to ferry officers back and forth to posts and parties. And after his service, you likely saw him on the Butler campus, where he regularly attended Hinkle Fieldhouse to cheer on his Bulldogs and meet with his Sigma Chi fraternity brothers. He loved these communities and could always be counted on to help arrange class reunions and make them legendary enough to happen for more than 50 years. In the 1950s, after college, he found good money being the only one crazy enough to climb radio towers and paint them. If you saw a man back then placed precariously atop a tower, that was probably him. This lasted until he married the mother of his children and momentarily settled for decidedly less risky businesses like selling light bulbs. By this time, Mike knew every nook and cranny of the city like the back of his hand. It was no surprise that he heard the call of residential real estate. And if he didn't help you buy, sell, or build a home, there's a good chance he still knew about your transaction when it happened. In the late 1970s, Mike responded to the downturn in the real estate market by opening Lord Byron's British Pub, presently located at 96th and the Meridian. If you ever stopped in back then for a business lunch or to commiserate with friends, you surely met him. He later sold the restaurant and passed the torch to a new owner who expanded it to become Daddy Jack's. Mike went from proud owner to loyal customer and routinely met up with family and friends at this now thriving business. Soon after, Mike returned to real estate. He combined his love of scouting neighborhoods and his intense civic pride and threw himself into the commercial side. It's likely you drove past his property signs with his number emblazoned on them. Moreover, if you ever attended a downtown Kiwanis Club meeting or enjoyed pizza at the bar at Ioria's restaurant, then you surely ran into Mike. Mike valued hard work and participation in the world around him. As business slowed down, he invested himself in volunteering for the VA. And he put indefatigable effort into improving his tennis game at the Indianapolis Racquet Club. He and his wife, Michelle, have 3 children, 4 grandchildren, and a great-grandchild. Since Mike's passing, more than $1,600 has been given in memorial contributions to the Abe Lincoln Scholarship Program. Mike Kinney.
Thank you. Bill Manette was born in 1946 in Clayton, Indiana, and passed away February 28, 2023. He enjoyed a successful career in the Army, serving tours in South Korea and Vietnam. In 1968, his patrol was responsible for uncovering the first cache of North Korean soldiers and equipment that had been stored to infiltrate this DMZ since the end of the Korean War, awarding Bill with a battlefield commission. Following officer candidate school at Fort Benning, he asked for permission to return to South Korea to marry. He was then deployed to Vietnam and became the recipient of the Bronze Star Medal for his actions on September 2nd, 1969, when he rushed 75 meters across open terrain to the side of his fallen comrade, ignoring the enemy rounds impacting all around him, to administer medical aid and carry back his comrade through enemy barrages to a secure location, saving the life of a fellow soldier. He joined the Kiwanis Club of Lawrence in 1972 for 5 years. After returning from active duty, he was recruited to the Indianapolis Club in 1983 by Bob Moorhead. At the time, Bill was the Chief Administrative Officer for the 113th Medical Battalion with the Indiana National Guard at Tyndall Armory in downtown Indy. After 25 years of service, he retired as a lieutenant colonel in 1991, when he then began his career as a contract specialist for the U.S. Customs Service and Border Patrol. He retired in 2009, traveling to family and military reunions and spending as much time as possible cheering on his grandchildren in sporting events and school activities. He was married to son Hugh Ann for 56 years and together had 4 children and 12 grandchildren. His family lives in Fishers. He received the 30-year Legion of Honor Award in 2013. I'll ask Roger to come up and present.
Graham's gonna do it.
Oh, Graham, come up and present for Dallas Moorhead. There we go.
In memory of Dallas Hod Moorhead II. Dallas was born March 19th, 1925, and passed away peacefully in his sleep on October 6th, 2023 at the age of 98. He lived a truly incredible life. Raised on the Moorhead family farm in Findlay, Ohio, at the age of 18 he joined the Navy, serving in World War II in the Pacific. He then attended Ohio Wesleyan University, where he was a member of Phi Gamma Delta fraternity, met his wife, and married in 1950. Before moving to Carmel in 1976, they lived in several cities while he served as a branch manager for Owings, Illinois Glass Company. Joanne passed away in 2017. While on the family farm, Dallas always dreamed of traveling the world. He told the story of working the horse and wagon and listening to the train whistle in the distance, wondering where it was heading. He had just taken this is out of order, but he had just taken early retirement. The nest was empty and they were both ready for their next adventure. This is Joanne. She had experience in the industry from her work at an agency downtown, and he had great business acumen. It was a perfect fit. Carmel was an up-and-coming city at that time. As the city grew, so did the agency. One of their 3 children, Mark, still runs the agency. Dallas visited every continent. He trekked across the Silk Route of China, sleeping on mats and tents for 2 weeks. He visited deep forests of India, Cambodia, Thailand, and stayed with tribes in Borneo. Cruising to Antarctica was a special place for him. He fished in Patagonia, Alaska, Cabo, and the jungles of the Amazon. He also loved to snow ski and did so on both his 90th and 91st birthdays with his good group of friends, the Dirty Dozen. He remains an inspiration to all that know him. He was a member of the Kiwanis Club of Indianapolis from 1983 to 1996.
Thank you, Graham. Now, if we could take a moment of silence in remembrance of the 4 great Kiwanians we've lost this past year. Thank you. As we extinguish the individual candles, we know this is not a sign that our friends will be forgotten. Rather, it is a symbol that their service to the club and community that they love will be sorely missed, and that their lives will serve as shining examples of what it means to be a Kiwanian. Their work, while they work with us, will inspire all of us to rise to meet the continued needs of the community. For it is this great tribute that we provide to them today. I don't think it's appropriate to do a dad joke today. So we will just end this meeting saying that when we see these people here and when we pass too, we know that we will be remembered as they are by our Kiwanis friends and family, which is important to all of us, or we wouldn't continue to participate, not only for our own self-worth, but for those of the children that we serve and the people that we get to meet and interact with on a weekly basis. We are adjourned.